Capricorn, and welcome to your October 2018 relationship reading. It's very interesting. There's 8 cards here, and 7 of them are major arcanas, okay, which means there's huge processes going on for you. The major arcanas are the energy of the divine. We've got no control over them. They're energies that work through us and generally for us because they represent our spiritual evolution. The central card is the 2 of discs, okay? So some Capricorns might be juggling life choices. So there might be more than one person here, and there's a sense of juggling, maybe uncertainty, but you're holding on to 2 discs and you're letting one of the discs go. So something you've been holding on to, you're having to let go of. When the 2 of discs appears, it generally means letting go for now rather than forever, because the disc goes over his head and in time the seed grows into something else. But it's definitely a sense of not being in control of the unfolding process, okay? And the energy that you've got around you right now is the Moon card, which represents the unknown, the mystery. A lot of people don't like the Moon card, but what a lot of us don't like, Capricorn, is the feeling of not being in control. And basically, and essentially, the only one thing we've got control over, Capricorn, is our own energy. We have got no other control over other people. So this feeling that people don't like around the Moon card is being in the unknown. But essentially, the unknown is where we live. That is life. And there's some sort of realization about that happening to you, because you're about to move into the Magician card. And the Magician card is the realization that the one power we have is the power over our own energy. Because the Magician's got the 4 aces, and what he's doing is allowing in divine energy in order to manifest the life that he wants, because believe it or not, we have the ability to create the life that we want. But it all starts and it all finishes with our own energy. And that is how we start to lose fear of the unknown, because we begin to realise within us we've got the skills and the tools and the ability to manage whatever comes our way, because we're plugged into this universal energy. And when you're plugged into universal energy, you know, we can live the life that we always wanted to live, which is very interesting because you are moving on to the Empress then. The Empress is about love, a very deep feminine energy. She's about expressing love, very tactile, very fertile energy. In a strange way, that the Empress represents to me what heaven on earth would look like when we all live in this beautiful, very expressive sort of love, okay? She can represent family, home, but essentially, she is about love. My only one issue going on here is the energy that you're sort of operating from is the Emperor. And the Emperor, in his highest energy, is I am and I will. So very focused energy. In a relationship reading, he is my least favourite card, because he doesn't come forth, but he withholds his energy. He stands back. He's quite, what's that word? Retentive. Emotionally, he freezes people out. He keeps his guard. And I'm not saying not having boundaries, Capricorn, is healthy, but the energy of the Emperor does not bear well in your relationship world. So you might have to look at this tendency that you have to keep people at bay. Because the irony is, this is the married couple in the deck. This is perfect union between female and male, yin and yang, depends what you look like, or depends whatever, but it's a perfect combination of opposites. But the Emperor builds houses and he builds businesses. He's got no place really within our heart, and either you or someone that you care about is coming from that energy. What needs to happen here is a softening needs to happen, because someone's not expressing themselves. Because when I look at the point of power, you've got the High Priestess. The High Priestess keeps her secrets. Something is not being expressed here, okay? The High Priestess next to the Emperor, there's a holding in energy. There's keeping of secrets. This is a bit intense, just bear with me, because your hopes and fears is a strength card. And in a love reading, at the moment, cards change all the time, but because of the Empress here, there's a holding back. There's 4 cards that represent something's not been expressed and something's not been shared. I think you're holding back desire energy. I think you're holding back the energy of love. And for some of you, there's deep feelings going on, but none of it's being expressed. And I really don't like it, because at the end of the day, if you're not expressing how you feel, which is the Empress, and the Empress can express how she feels because she's connected with the divine energy, the Magician card. So she's got no problem with expressing her love, because it's a sort of, she knows it's a supply that never runs out, and she knows that she's safe. But for some reason, these cards are saying to me there's an awful lot of energy being held back. This might be you, or it might be someone that you're interested in. Holding back energy, not expressing yourself, you're using an awful lot of energy to hold back the energy of desire, or the energy of wanting to express love to someone, or someone's doing it to you, Capricorn. This is the energies that are around you. It might be a family issue. If it's not a personal love thing, it's to do with people in your life. People are doing it to you. There's a standoff. The High Priestess, again, is the secrets. No one's talking. And the outcome here is the Hermit card. The Hermit is going very deep within to try and understand the nature of a connection. Okay, now I'm one of these readers who actually love the Hermit card, and I love reading because what it talks about is not jumping into something in an impulsive way, because what we jump into, we tend to need to jump out of. That's what karma is. That's what a karmic relationship is. So when the Hermit appears in a love reading, it speaks to me as a lot of thought and mindfulness going into this, but there's an awful lot of held back energy. When I pick this up, you know, there's a softening that needs to happen here. I want to ask you some questions, Capricorn, like, is your back hurting you? Is your muscles hurting you? Or is there someone that you're involved with who's got these symptoms? Because once we hold back love, or the energy of forgiveness, or the energy of expressing yourself and how you feel. We become very, very stiff. Our muscles hurt and we become very unwell. Okay, because I want to ask, what is the best path for you to follow? And the best path for you to follow is the Star card. It doesn't really get much better than that. Now, on the negative side, another major arcana, the Star card can represent too much wishfulness. That's the negative side of the Star card. In the positive side of the Star card, she's naked. And she's naked because she's revealing herself, which is the absolute polar opposite of this guy who's rigid. He wants to make everything about business and about money. And, oh gosh. So this guy needs some sort of massage or something, some sort of softening, in order to have this openness, to have this opening up and revealing of yourself. Because there's something really quite beautiful happening here, but equally there's a painful energy of holding stuff within, not expressing yourself. And the reason why we don't express ourselves is generally because of fear. Fear of rejection tends to be the number one. But I'm more worried about what the state of holding back is doing to your heart. And if you're cross-watching, what it's doing to you, because it's really, really not incredibly softening, because love needs soft energy, like the Empress. The Emperor is the total opposite, okay? Great for building a business or building a house. And the Strength card is about holding back energy too, which is leading you right to being in contemplation but not being in connection. When in reality, the Empress really, really wants to be in connection, and the Star card wants to be vulnerable, to be open, to be sharing the water. And the waters are our emotional life, okay? And the Emperor, this very, very retentive, uptight energy. And with that Strength card, it's a double whammy here, because the two of them are about resistance and not revealing yourself in the energy of the High Priestess, okay? Really interesting. There's so many major arcanas. So there's something very, very profound going on for you. You know what? None of us need to live in a state of rigidity or in a state of fear, because all the rivers want to flow back to the sea, which means everything wants to move. But there's something being held back here. Okay, Capricorn, I'm back doing weeklies, which I'm really excited about, from next week. And I'll see you then. Loads of love. Bye.